Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Siheyuan. Duozi Duofu, starting with Mrs. Hu's interception dressed in the 1960s, bound to the strongest family system of Duozi Duofu, and starting with intercepting Hu's sister. Law Lou Xiaoe. Lou Xiaoe. Daqiang, are you too strong? Su Damao. Brother, you have been very helpful to me. When I went to the countryside, I met Qinhuai Ru's sister Qinhuai Ru. Xu Daqiang. Brother, you can't control the rural girl. Let me come. Qinhuai Ru. Daqiang, I want to borrow some grain. I'm sorry Dongshu, Daqiang gave me too much. Yen Bugui. You learned Qinhuai Ru from Yuli, and you also went to Xu Daqiang's house to take advantage of it. Yuli. We took a small advantage, but our sisters suffered a lot. Xu Daqiang. Gone. What you are eating is clearly a tonic. Wait, he rainwater, Ran Qiuye, Ding Chunan, Qinhuai Ru. You can give birth to 10 children for me alone. One day, our Su family will surpass Morgan and other families, and we will all have your contribution. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Sister-in-law Lou Xiaoe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the 1960s, the courtyard of Luogu Lane in the south of 49th City was built. Backyard, Su family. Xu Daqiang nodded at Su Damao, and Su Damao went to his father, old Su, and said a few words. Su Damao, the day of getting married is coming soon. Why do you suddenly stop wanting to marry Lou Xiaoe? Su Damao glanced at his younger brother Xu Daqiang. Xu Daqiang interjected, Dad, I didn't know how serious the ingredient problem was in the Lu family before, but now he knows. Lao Su frowned and said, the composition issue of the Lu family is a bit serious, but our 3 generations of Lao Su family are all working class. Even if you marry Lou Xiaoe, the problem should not be significant. Su Damao quickly said, Dad, what if the problem is bigger than imagined? I have the ability to play movies now and I am very popular. Marrying a girl from whose family is not marrying. Why must I marry a daughter from a capitalist? Without waiting for his parents to persuade him again, Su Damao said, and I have already learned that Lou Xiaoe did not do household chores since childhood, and her 10 fingers did not touch the sunshine and spring water. Should I marry a daughter? Law to come home and serve me, or marry a young lady to come home and wait for me to serve? I'm looking for a wife, not an ancestor. You don't need to persuade me anymore. I won't marry Lou Xiaoe even if I die. Upon hearing Su Damao's words, both the old Su and his wife frowned. Only Xu Daqiang was secretly overjoyed. In fact, Xu Daqiang is not a person in this world. He came to this world 3 days ago, replacing his brother Xu Daqiang, who is almost the same as himself. Not only that, but also obtained a system of the strongest family with multiple sons and multiple blessings. Coincidentally, my mother works as a nanny in the Lu family and has a good relationship with Lou Xiaoe's mother, Lu Tan. The Lu family and his wife feel that the wind is getting louder and they are worried that their precious daughter will be implicated in the future. And the old Su family also thought that their son was already quite old, and neither of them had gotten married. So the 2 sides hit it off and directly agreed on the marriage. As a projectionist, Su Damao was shocked to see Lou Xiaoe, the daughter of director Liu Zhenhua, from a distance at the Red Star Rolling Mill. With a graceful demeanor, fair skin, and a figure comparable to that of Qinhuai Ru, the beautiful daughter. Law of the Jia family in the courtyard. Not to mention, the family still has money. From the beginning, Su Damao couldn't wait for the day of his wedding. Coincidentally, due to a small matter, Su Damao pushed Xu Daqiang to the ground and hit his head against the corner of the table, thus giving Xu Daqiang a discount of the 21st century. Xu Daqiang, dressed in this world, is bound to the strongest family system of Duozi Duofu. This system doesn't have a wife, so it's not possible to have many children in good luck. And the prerequisite task of the system is to marry a wife and become a marriage. Xu Daqiang happened to be wearing it, not injured, but with the fusion of memories, the feeling of headache was infuriating. So Xu Daqiang simply approached Xu Damao and explained the consequences of his marriage to Lou Xiaoe, making it easier for him to intercept his sister. Law. After hearing this, Xu Damao did indeed retract his promise immediately. Until just now, he finally made up his mind to regret his marriage. Damao, are you really not marrying Lou Xiaoe? But soon it's our wedding day. You're regretting your marriage now. How can I tell the Lou family about this? Mr. and Mrs. Su are extremely anxious. Xu Damao shook his head directly and said, I don't care. Anyway, the wedding was arranged by you in the beginning, and now it's also your responsibility to cancel it. I said, Damao, why don't you consider it again? I don't think about it, that's it. I'm going to the countryside to show a movie tomorrow. No, I'm going now. Xu Damao directly took away the equipment for playing movies, rode an old bicycle, and prepared to leave. Ah. This. What should we do about this? The old Su couple sighed and breathed heavily. Xu Daqiang suddenly spoke up, Mom and Dad, you and the Lou family have agreed on a marriage. It's definitely not possible to regret your marriage now. So, if my brother doesn't want to marry, then let me marry. Lao Su widened his eyes and said, What? Are you marrying your sister? Law. Cough, Dad, Lou Xiaoe hasn't married my brother yet. Cheap's mother nodded and said, It seems like that's the way it is. Xu Damao, who was about to slip away on his bicycle, quickly exclaimed. Daqiang, have you made up your mind? If you're willing to marry Lou Xiaoe, that's really great. Anyway, my mom talked about getting married with the Lou family back then. It doesn't matter whether it's me or my younger brother. Xu Damao has heard Xu Daqiang's analysis and knows that there is a serious problem with the composition of the Lou family. Moreover, Lou Xiaoe cannot do household chores or serve others. He didn't want to marry himself, but he still cared about the wealth of the Lou family. Now as long as my younger brother Xu Daqiang is willing to marry, as my elder brother, I'm afraid I won't be able to get any benefits from Xu Daqiang and Lou Xiaoe in the future. In the future, there will be serious issues with the ingredients, and the big deal is to separate from Xu Daqiang. I didn't have much loss myself, did I? Old Xu hesitated for a moment, but Xu Damao quickly said, Dad, Daqiang is not also a member of our Xu family. He is also a member of the 3 generations of working class. If Lou Xiaoe were to marry my younger brother, it would not be a disadvantage to their family. Well. Okay. Old Xu patted Xu Daqiang's shoulder and said, Let's settle this matter. Daqiang, I've wronged you. P.S. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations. Chapter 2. A moment of spring night is worth 1,000 gold. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Unfair. No longer exists. These 3 days, Chao Kun has secretly seen Lou Xiaoe at the entrance of the Red Star steel rolling plant, who looks like a symbol. As the saying goes, a chubby girl is the best, and her beautiful hand feel can only be expressed in words. Moreover, Lou Xiaoe is one of the few good people in the world of courtyard houses. When marrying a wife, one should marry a virtuous person. Marrying Lou Xiaoe is definitely not a loss. 10 days have passed in a blink of an eye. There are many auspicious characters pasted inside and outside the Su family's house. The Lou family has money and has purchased a lot of furniture. And he also paid to invite neighbors such as Mr. 1, Mr. 2, and Mr. 3 from the courtyard, Mr. Silly Zhu, Qinhuai Ru, and others to have a meal at a nearby restaurant. Xu Daqiang was poured a lot of wine by these neighbors and helped into the bridal chamber. He looked into the room and saw Lou Xiaoe sitting nervously on the wedding bed with a red cap on her head. Xiaoe. As Xu Daqiang spoke, he quickly walked forward and lifted the red cap. In the 1960s, there were no cosmetics, all were bare-faced. As the daughter of the Lou family, Lou Xiaoe needs to have temperament, appearance, and figure. Not only that, she has been pampered since childhood and has not done much household chores. Her skin is as fair as jade. Even Xu Daqiang, who had seen many beautiful women in the 21st century, couldn't help but be amazed at the moment. Jiahu's sister. Law Lou Xiaoe, you really made a lot of money. Xu Daqiang sighed inwardly and couldn't help but want to gallop his horse. Just Lou Xiaoe suddenly reached out and stopped him. Speaking of which, Lou Xiaoe originally did not want to get married. I cannot resist the words of matchmakers ordered by my parents. And the nanny at home has a good relationship with her, promising to continue serving her as before after marriage. All these things, Lou Xiaoe reluctantly agreed. But 10 days ago, I suddenly learned that the person I was going to marry was not Xu Damao, the eldest son of the Xu family, but Xu Daqiang, the second son of the Xu family. This Xu Daqiang has never seen him before, and he doesn't even have a job. If it weren't for her parents giving her a death order, Lou Xiaoe wouldn't have said anything. Now, looking at Xu Daqiang in front of her, Lou Xiaoe was somewhat surprised. Xu Daqiang looks much better than Xu Damao's horse face. Marrying Xu Daqiang may be better than marrying Xu Damao, right? Lou Xiaoe whispered in secret, Daqiang, we are already married, but there are some things that I must explain to you first. Next to her, red candles shone brightly, and Lou Xiaoe's already rosy and fair face became even more alluring. With the beauty in front, Xu Daqiang did not rush to gallop on horseback. Anyway, the night is long and there's no rush at all. Xiaoe, what's up? You tell me. Daqiang, you know the ingredients in my family, right? I know, my brother Xu Damao didn't want to marry you because he was worried about the composition of your family. Sure enough. But why are you not afraid? 3 days later, I'll come back and help you solve it. Can such a serious matter still be solved? Lou Xiaoe was both surprised and delighted, and urgently said, Can Daqiang tell me now? Not right now, there's something more important now. What's the more important thing? Lou Xiaoe was curious. Xu Daqiang smiled mischievously and said, Xiaoe, you have also read books. You should know the 4 great joys of life, right? Lou Xiaoe nodded and said, I know that the 4 great joys in life refer to the long drought and the sweet rain, the meeting of old friends in a foreign land, the night of bridal chamber flowers and candles, and the time when one reaches the top of the golden list. Lou Xiaoe, who knew later and realized later, blushed brightly after speaking. Xiaoe, a moment in the spring night is worth $1,000. Let's hurry up. Wait. Wait a moment. As Xu Daqiang was about to turn over and mount his horse, Lou Xiaoe couldn't help but shyly point to a pair of red candles. It's okay, it's more fun. After Xu Daqiang finished speaking, he began to take action. Nightingales cry, red balls fall to the ground. The pleasant prompt sound of the system rings again. Host, congratulations on completing the system's pre-task. Marrying a wife becomes a marriage. You receive rewards. 100 yuan, 100 cubic meters of system space, 100 strength, 100 stamina, and 100 endurance. P.S. Seeking support from flower evaluations. Chapter 3. Rich rewards. Lou Xiaoe, Xu Daqiang, Qi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the 1960s, as an 8th-level fitter, Yi Zhonghai earned a monthly salary of 99 yuan. The salaries of Jia Dongxiu and Xu Damao are only 20.30.40 yuan. Now Xu Daqiang has directly obtained 100 yuan. As the saying goes, money is a hero's courage. With this 100 yuan Xu Daqiang, he can basically buy whatever he wants to eat. Of course, shopping in this era requires the use of tickets and industrial vouchers. But it's also hard not to disappoint Xu Daqiang. He has been to a ghost market once, and as long as he has money, he can buy various tickets and industrial vouchers. Now these 100 yuan are directly stored in a 100 cubic meter system space. Xu Daqiang can clearly feel that with a single movement of his mind, he can take it out or store the things in his hand in space. Very safe, very secretive, very convenient. Not only that, Xu Daqiang also felt that his body suddenly became strong. The strength has almost doubled, and so has the stamina. Durability has increased by more than double. Xu Daqiang felt that he could easily lift Lou Xiaoe, who weighed 100 pounds, up. Lou Xiaoe, whose cheeks and feet were off the ground, couldn't help but let out a painful cry. Daqiang. You. Why are you so powerful? Lou Xiaoe was shocked. Ha ha ha, where are you now? In the future, you will find that I am more powerful than you imagine. Xu Daqiang responded with a pun. Suddenly, he heard the pleasant prompt sound of the system ringing in his mind again. Host, congratulations, your family has added one more member. Lou Xiaoe. Lou Xiaoe, position. Wife. Identity. World Fortune Female Lead, Ability 1. Business Queen, getting rich through business, achieving twice the result with half the effort, wealth increases by 100%, Ability 2. The eldest lady of capitalists, not short of money, has a daily allowance of 100 yuan, Ability 3. A girl who loves to laugh will not have poor pregnancy energy, laughing 30 times within 3 days will trigger an explosion of pregnancy energy, one shot will enter the soul, and one child will have two. Upon hearing these prompts, Xu Daqiang was shocked. How can there be so many benefits to having one more family member? What if we add 10 or even 100? By then, wouldn't it be possible to build a world-class family that surpasses the Morgan family and the Rothschild family? Imagine a family that is even more powerful than the world's most powerful country, and Xu Daqiang couldn't help but be excited. Plus the rewards obtained from completing the previous tasks, Xu Daqiang couldn't fall asleep. Holding the soft Lou Xiaoe is also enjoyable. At the same time, it can also be used with one mind and two purposes to understand Lou Xiaoe's three abilities. The ability of a business queen requires Lou Xiaoe to engage in business. In the original work, Lou Xiaoe went to Xiangjiang and indeed became a strong commercial woman. As long as Lou Xiaoe becomes wealthy through business, she can achieve twice the result with half the effort. And if she earns 100 yuan, Xu Daqiang can earn an extra 100. TSK, truly worthy of being the queen of commerce. But Miss Capitalist, this ability is also good. Lou Xiaoe's father, Lou Zhenhua, has the nickname Lou Bancheng. In the 49th city, he has many industries. Even the Red Star Rolling Mill, where Yi Zhonghai and Lu Haizhong, Su Damao and Jia Dongshu work, originally belonged to Lou Zhenhua. It can be imagined how wealthy the Lou family really is. As the only daughter of Lou Zhenhua and the daughter of a capitalist, Lou Xiaoe has always been financially well off since childhood. As for how much pocket money she has, Xu Daqiang doesn't know. But from now on, Xu Daqiang can automatically receive 100 yuan in pocket money every day due to Lou Xiaoe's ability. Today's 100 yuan has already arrived in Xu Daqiang's system space. Xu Daqiang checked and found that there are already 200 yuan in the system space. 100 yuan a day, isn't it like doing nothing and becoming a rare 10,000 yuan household in this era in 3 months? A household worth 10,000 yuan is nothing. My goal is the world's strongest family. To become the strongest family, Lou Xiaoe's third ability is quite delightful. A girl who loves to laugh will not have poor fertility, laughing 30 times within 3 days will trigger an explosion of fertility, with one shot entering the soul and one child having two. Just how to make Lou Xiaoe laugh. Xu Daqiang looked at Lou Xiaoe in front of him, who couldn't help but flirt with her, and he instantly understood. P.S. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations. Kneeling to beg for 100 flowers, 100 evaluations, and 100 rewards, there are. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. The first time I saw him was on a bus. Simple short hair, fair face, sunny temperament. Holding a mobile phone in hand, sitting and watching, standing and walking. I really want to remind this brother that there is a girl sitting with him who has been paying attention to him for a long time, but he is so focused when looking at his phone that I don't feel embarrassed to disturb him. When we got off the car, he and I were at the same station, standing side by side at the back door. I glanced at him and was pleasantly surprised. Do you also look at Duozi Duofu? He glanced at me and said, yes, you also look at me. I'll take a look too. Where did you see? The fusion of different flames. I have seen. That's how we got to know each other. On weekdays, he is a bit quiet and reserved, but the fact proves that he went crazy alone. A few people make plans to go out and play, and he can stay silent for a day. But when a few people went out to play together, he was able to talk alone for a whole day. Time passed quickly, and our relationship became increasingly close. We were almost friends and brothers who talked about everything. Because we share a common hobby of reading online novels. I can't forget the day 2 years ago when he said to me, what would happen if I wrote a novel? Are you crazy? I was a bit surprised. How could a normal person possibly write a novel? It can be millions of words, but you didn't even pass your essay, did you? Oh, he just nodded and didn't say anything more. I haven't seen him for 3 months, and when we meet again, it's on the bus. Sparse stubble, decadent face. I heard that he has really started writing novels, and QQ signatures are asking everyone to follow my new book and so on. He asked me to go see it, enthusiastically asking me to see it, saying that it would definitely explode and crush ordinary people. I don't believe it. I went to see it. I worked hard all day, but I really had to give up. I really wanted to find every highlight in his book to attract me to continue reading. Unfortunately, I failed. Perhaps he has become depressed now. We haven't contacted him for half a year, his QQ updates haven't been updated, and his profile picture hasn't been lit up. I don't know if he's invisible or not online. In the blink of an eye, it was 14 years. In June, the summer is scorching. Hello, XX, come out and sing. The phone rang, and I was surprised to receive his call. I could hear that his voice was very happy. Haha, do you know why I asked you to come out and sing today? He suddenly stopped in the KTV, laughing wildly. It was crazy. Because my book has been signed. Ha, it's signed. Facing the microphone, he laughed and shouted. We looked around in confusion and looked at each other. What is signing a contract? It seems like signing a contract is very impressive. I have been writing for almost a year, almost a whole year, writing every day in seclusion. I don't do anything, I write every day. It's not easy. Finally worked it out, I finally signed the contract, hahaha. Do you know how difficult it is to sign a contract? 99% of authors are unable to sign contracts. He told us about his experience for so long and roast about things that we could not understand. I understand now. It turns out it's difficult to sign a contract. Before he could utter his congratulations, he cried and lay on the table, crying, finally signed the contract. A friend sighed and said, wake up, don't dream anymore. Everyone looked at him, his head shrouded in mist. I really want to say, you're not a talented person. I heard you've been writing novels for a long time, and you only signed today. I also wrote novels 2 years ago, and signed the first one. I didn't hurt you, I just want to say, you don't have talent, don't dream of becoming a god. I gave up 2 years ago. We understand now. It turns out that signing a contract is not difficult. Unexpectedly, he didn't give up and continued writing. What's even more surprising is that he seems to have really succeeded. I don't know if the book he signed sells well, but I feel like his demeanor has changed. It's that kind of arrogant demeanor, as if he doesn't pay attention to anything. I have seen this kind of temperament in the nouveau riche. Oh, did you smoke the Lotus King? It's been several months since I last saw him. At first sight, he surprised me a bit. Hee, long time no see. What have you been doing lately? I always feel like he's changed, with a deliberately low-key feeling. I didn't do anything, I found a job at home, and now I'm working. What about you? Write a novel. Are you still writing? Of course, one path leads to darkness. How can a person easily give up? So you're a great writer now, how much do you earn per month? Not much. It's enough to support oneself. After chatting for a long time, I really looked at him with new eyes. I always feel that he has really succeeded in writing novels and should have earned a lot of money. I'm also tempted, I also want to write a novel. But in the end, I still didn't have his courage and couldn't write for a long time. A few months later, 15 years arrived. At the end of the year, I received his phone call. Lend me 500 yuan. Are you still asking me to borrow money? As a great writer, I still plan to borrow from you. I was a bit surprised. I haven't received the manuscript fee yet. I'll take it as an emergency and pay you back after the Chinese New Year. I think, it seems that the surface of him is not the real him, is it? Did he really succeed? In the summer of 2015, I suddenly had a sudden impulse to see what the environment for great writers to create was like. After being informed by phone, I arrived at his house. When I entered his bedroom at his invitation, I clearly felt a subconscious frown on my face. A dark and humid atmosphere rushed towards me, and the whole room was filled with the smell of smoke and some mixed strange smells. The curtains are drawn, the entire room is opaque, the computer is on, and the interface is a document filled with tiny words. Is this where you work? Yeah, I found out I don't like light anymore. I don't even turn on the lights at night because they're on and I'm not inspired. I was a bit worried and said, can your body handle it if you keep going like this? Mind him, he's young. By the way, have you read my new book? I really wanted to say that I watched it, but I was afraid that if he asked me about the plot, I would reveal it, so I shook my head. He was somewhat disappointed and smiled, saying, then you have time to take a look. Definitely. I glanced at a photo on the computer screen and said, your girlfriend. She's quite beautiful. A happy smile appeared on his face. Beautiful, isn't it? We've been together for 2 years. Really? Why didn't I know before? I didn't tell you. So beautiful, it costs a lot of money, right? Speaking of this, he smiled bitterly and ultimately did not answer the question. August 8th, a day that I will never forget, my elementary school classmate wanted me to go to XX bar for their birthday. Amidst the noisy DJ, a large group of us had a great time drinking. My birthday classmate's surname is Lou, let's call him Lao Lou for now. Old Lou casually pointed at the female DJ and said, isn't that a good woman? Then why don't you call to accompany the wine? We cheered. Old Lou chuckled and looked a little disdainful, that's only good. You haven't seen a truly top-notch product before. Lao Lu was a bit drunk and said, wait a minute, I'll call you guys and call a few. In less than half an hour, 3 girls arrived, who seemed to be familiar with Lao Lu. After greeting them, they sat down without any fear of being angry. 3 girls are all very beautiful, but I always think one of them looks familiar. Perhaps it's an illusion my classmate is not honest. After getting to know each other well, he started to act around. The girls were not averse either, laughing and playing with them. I could tell that these were all people with rich nightlife, and I might not be able to fit in. Lao Lu leaned in her ear and spoke. I didn't know what Lao Lu had said, but I could hear the girls say clearly, I don't want to separate yet. I think he's treating me quite well. I finished a bottle of beer and felt suffocated and flustered. Because I know why I am a bit familiar with her, I have seen her photos not long ago. This is the person who always smiles when the man picks it up. Don't go back tonight. Where are you going if you don't go back? Your family and my family are like home. Then I need to give him a call. I have to make a good night call every night at 10 o'clock. I'm jealous. Hee hee. The girl has gone out. But suddenly I felt very uncomfortable. Of course he's not me, my affairs are more complicated. Because the author encountered a series of annoying problems recently. First, pick the key points and explain them one by one. The trigger is 1. My father has always felt that my child is not like me. How is it going? Did the sense of anticipation suddenly rise? Don't panic, everyone. Listen to me speak slowly. Since my son was born, my father has been suffering from this mental illness. If there is anything to do, he will hold my son and compare with me. It doesn't seem like anything, and what's going on? Make the author annoying every day. I have told my father countless times. Where doesn't it look like? I think it looks quite similar. People are different from each other, and I'm not very similar to you either. The child hasn't opened yet. Wait. I have said a lot. But my father never believed it. Finally, one day. He couldn't help it anymore. I secretly took my son for a paternity test. He thinks that if the child is indeed my own son. So, as my father and grandfather of the child, there must be a blood relationship with the child. Result: a few days later, the DNA results came out. The whole family exploded. The certificate issued by the hospital shows my son and father have no blood relationship. Oh my goodness. Those days, the house was really in chaos. All the things that could be smashed were smashed by my wife. Finally, my wife cried uncontrollably, holding a vegetable knife around her neck, insisting on using death to prove her innocence. There's no other way, life is at stake. I grabbed my son to the hospital and we did another paternity test. Result report display. My son and I do have a father-son relationship this time. It's my father's turn to be dumbfounded. He kept dragging me to the hospital and insisted on doing another paternity test with me. Result report display. My father and I have no biological relationship. I'll go. You can't imagine it. My parents' house exploded directly. Everything that could be smashed was smashed by my mom. My wife, who was crying so hard, went to my house to fight. I can't even make it through now. My mother is holding a knife around her neck, trying to prove her innocence with death. So, poor author, I was forcibly pulled by my mother again and went to the hospital for a paternity test. It's really festive. The arm hurts when I draw blood, do you understand? The whole family, old and young, are waiting at the hospital. No one dares to speak. People who are under pressure cannot breathe. The hospital was supposed to finish work. Parents are constantly blocking the doctor, letting them come up with results. Finally, the result is out. Report display. My mother and I have no biological relationship either. I'm so confused. Who the hell am I? Parents are also confused. Who the hell am I? After much thought, there is only one possibility. That's when I was born, I held the wrong child. Then. Got it. No one wants to work hard anymore. My whole family took leave and went to the maternal and child health clinic where I was born. The author was born on the same day at the county hospital. There was no computer at that time. All of them are paper files. The people at the hospital over there were also frightened and took it seriously. They pulled a bunch of nurses to the archive to search for records. Finally, found the result. On the day I was born, only 2 boys were born. One is me. One is a person named Zhou Ziyuan. When I saw the name Zhou Ziyuan, My wife was stunned. I was also stunned. We are all familiar with this name. This TM is my uncle. That's my wife's biological brother. At first, we didn't believe it. Later, after comparing various materials on the file, it was determined that Zhou X, who was born on the same day as me, is my wife's biological brother. My wife can't accept it at the moment. What does this TM represent? We dare not think about it. 1. Point. Everyone. No. Dare. Think. My wife called me on the phone. My father.in.law and mother.in.law took a taxi overnight. They were also scared. After all, it's about the issue of our biological son. My parents-in-law immediately called and asked my wife and brother to come to the hospital as soon as possible. My wife and brother are busy and cannot go. He even said we were just fooling around. My parents-in-law are going crazy. Tell him if he dares to come or not, just go and catch him. Finally, my wife's biological brother, who was my eldest uncle, had no choice but to drive over. Then, I was drawn another tube of blood. Result. As we initially imagined. The report indicates that my father.in.law and mother.in.law have a father-son, mother-son relationship. My wife and brother have a father-son relationship with my parents. Moment my wife sat on the ground crying. The kind that feels very broken. I am also confused. That's not to say. My wife is my biological sister, and I am my wife's biological brother. The whole family is confused. There must be several minutes of silence. I don't know how to speak. In the end, since things have already turned out this way, everyone can only speak positively. What do you say? Anyway, we're all family now. If there's no problem with the child, it's a good thing. Life is just a matter of living, getting closer. You two just don't know. They are fine now. Happy now. But my wife and I are both uncomfortable. This ethical issue makes us feel uneasy inside. Especially feeling sorry for the child. It is said that having children from close relatives can easily lead to problems. If our children have problems in the future, we really don't want to live anymore. But after calming down, we both feel that there is a trick involved. Just say a little. My wife and I are completely different. It's the kind that doesn't look like anything at all. I can't find anything that looks like it. Do you have siblings like this? Moreover, I vividly remember that when my wife entered the delivery room, the doctor also tested my blood type to prevent heavy bleeding. I can't give my wife a blood transfusion. The more you think, the more wrong it becomes. So, I took my wife to the hospital again for a DNA test. See if there is a blood relationship between the two. My spine is already full of needle holes. The doctor doesn't even know where to puncture. Forget it. I can't care about that much anymore. I'll switch my arm and continue to draw blood. Then. The result is out. Report display. My wife and I have no blood relationship at all, and we cannot be siblings. It's okay. My wife is not my own sister. I am not my wife's biological brother either. Our children won't have any messy genetic diseases either. But TMD's new problem has arisen again. Who exactly is my wife? This is the reason why the author updates so awesome. Because of a lack of money. You have no idea how expensive the cost of parent-child testing is. The author finally saved up some money and handed it over to the hospital. Moreover, the issue of my uncle and I's background has been resolved. My wife's identity issue requires countless DNA tests. Wow, it's all money. The author urgently needs money now. But without any other abilities, I can only write novels. So please support me. Chapter 4. Is Xu Daqiang a donkey? Qinhuai Ru wants happiness. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Next door, Xu Damao covered his head with a blanket. Why is Daqiang so strong? Is his body made of iron? Xu Damao thought of the Red Lantern small room he used to go to in Yanji Lane, where he would always finish things haphazardly in less than a minute. For a moment, sadness comes from the heart. They are all descendants of the old Xu family. Why is there such a big gap between people? I think Xu Damao should also be so skilled. Yes, I am already so skilled. It's just that my waist was damaged by this barbarian bull, Silly Zhu, before. Xu Damao remembered being beaten by Silly Zhu over a trivial matter before. At that time, I broke my waist and couldn't go to the bathroom properly for 3 days. Thinking back on this incident, Xu Damao had the heart to kill Silly Zhu. Outside, several young people were sticking their ears to the wall, commonly known as listening to the corner of the wall. At first, they were still listening and laughing. Soon, I felt so insecure that I couldn't laugh anymore. Is this Xu Daqiang really special? He's not a human, he's a donkey. Lu Guangtian and Lu Guangfu cursed and went home with their heads down. Yan Jifang and Yan Jicheng looked at each other and walked back together without hesitation. The two of them were whispering and discussing to have his father, also known as the third uncle Yan Bugui, introduce them to a marriage. The silly pillar on the other side shook his head and muttered. This Xu Daqiang doesn't look as big as me, how could he be so powerful? I don't know if I'll get married then, but I'm also so strong and unparalleled. If Sister Qin could help me experiment, that would be great. Silly Zhu looked at Qinhuai Ru's husband Jia Dongxiu not far away. He really wanted to replace Jia Dongxiu and become Qinhuai Ru's man. Jia Dongxiu, this fool, even though he already has a beautiful lady in his family, he still listens to the corner of the wall with these bachelors. What a waste! What a waste! Being stared at by the silly pillar, Jia Dongxiu felt very uncomfortable. Silly pillar, what are you looking at? What's wrong? You're not a yellow flower girl, don't you want people to see you? I'm too lazy to talk to you. After speaking, Jia Dongxiu hurried back home. As he hurried on, he pondered, what kind of treasure did Xu Daqiang eat to be so strong? No, I have to ask him about it tomorrow, and I'll have some to eat too. My daughter.in.law is not inferior to Xu Daqiang's daughter.in.law in terms of appearance, and I cannot allow Daqiang to be inferior either. Just as he finished speaking, Jia Dongxiu met his daughter.in.law Qinhuai Ru head.on. Qinhuai Ru, didn't you hear what I just said? No. I didn't hear clearly. What Qinhuai Ru actually wants to say is that it's strange not to hear it clearly. She briefly said that she was looking for her son's meme and hurriedly walked towards the backyard. At the same time, he couldn't help but mutter to himself, what kind of stimulation did Jia Dongxiu get? Is Xu Daqiang really strong as his name suggests? Qinhuai Ru didn't know what was on her mind, and her pretty face suddenly turned slightly red. Sister Qin. Silly Zhu, who was full of thoughts, walked back and greeted Qinhuai Ru with surprise. Sister Qin, are you also here to listen to the corner? As soon as Silly Zhu finished speaking, he felt like he had said the wrong thing and quickly gave himself a big mouth. Qin Jie, I said the wrong thing. Don't mind. I didn't hear what you said earlier. Qinhuai Ru didn't want to talk to the muscular fool Zhu and sent him home in a few words, but she herself went outside Xu Daqiang's house. Quickly, she saw her son, Bang Ji, in the corner of the wall. Stick meme, if you don't learn well at a young age, hurry up and come home with me. Mom, don't try to deceive me. You're also here to listen to the corner. You dead child, don't talk nonsense. Mom, if you want to listen, just listen. There's nothing to eat, I'm going home. Bang Gung saw Yazi ran away, leaving only Qinhuai in chaos in the wind. As a young woman, she is very sensitive to certain sounds and her pretty face has become increasingly red. I said I saw Lu Guangtian, Lu Guangfu, Yan Jicheng, Yan Jifang, Jia Dongxiu, and a few silly pillars along the way, which made me angry and insecure. So it's because Xu Daqiang is too strong. Qinhuai Ru's eyes were envious. Lou Xiaoe is really happy. If only I could be so happy. P.S. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations. Chapter 5 Lou Xiaoe. Xu Daqiang, you are not a human. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. On a new day, the sun rises 3 poles. Su Li, also known as Xu Daqiang's cheap mother, had already prepared breakfast. Even specially stewed an old hen. She just knocked on the door 3 times. It's been 2 hours since I knocked on the door for the first time. Every time she heard Xu Daqiang say she would come out later. But when asked again 2 hours later, the same answer was given. What did this child do? Why haven't he come out to eat yet? What else can your son do after his wedding last night? Lao Su was both angry and amused, while marveling at his son's abilities in his heart. It's truly the seed of my old Su family. Su Lisher glared and said, you didn't have a son who was so powerful back then, did you? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Lao Su choked, my son Xu Daqiang is so powerful. How could I not have been so powerful back then? Lao Su accused his wife, I said you must be old and have a bad memory. Su Li didn't argue either. Okay, whatever you say is okay. But now that Xu Daqiang and Lou Xiaoe are in the room, it's not okay not to eat. Lao Su took a look and there was still a room door that was quite quiet. He had to admit that he was not even a bit inferior to his son Xu Daqiang. Old Su's face was a bit unnatural. My son said he will come out later, so let's wait a little longer. 2 hours have passed since we waited. Daqiang. It's already noon, you haven't had breakfast yet. Su Li couldn't help but knock on the door again. Mom, could you help me bring it over? Do you want to eat in your room? Well, Xiao Yi has been injured a bit and can't go out. Su Li, standing at the door, paused for a moment and quickly understood what was going on. I said to Chang, you. Take it easy, don't let the girls bully you. Got it, Mom. Xu Daqiang casually agreed and brought in a pot of soup. Then he picked up the dishes again. Then he turned around and kicked the door shut. Su Li, who was about to come in and take a look, narrowly escaped being hit in the nose by the door. How do I feel like this child has become more beautiful? Xu Daqiang not only looks better, but also enhances his strength, stamina, and endurance, coupled with his refreshing spirit during happy events. From temperament to physique to spiritual outlook, they are all dragons and phoenixes among people. Now not only does Su Li feel that Xu Daqiang has become more beautiful, but also that Lou Xiaoe, who is difficult to move in bed, feels that her husband is simply a perfect husband. The only thing is that too strong. I haven't slept much since last night. Looking back, Lou Xiaoe couldn't help but feel both embarrassed, angry, and shocked. At the same time, there is also an indescribable happiness. Lou Xiaoe looked at Xu Daqiang and brought over a bowl of chicken soup, struggling as if getting up. But the result is simply not achievable. Still, Xu Daqiang held a bowl in one hand and easily picked it up with one hand. Xiao Yi, your physical fitness is not good. Lou Xiaoe glared at Xu Daqiang in embarrassment and anger. You said, Xu Daqiang, you're not a human, you're just a donkey. Speaking of which, Lou Xiaoe can also be considered as fully reading poetry and books. I naturally have an understanding of things between men and women. However, the current situation is completely different from the knowledge she has learned. How could anyone have such a strong body? Xu Daqiang felt proud instead of ashamed when he heard Lou Xiaoe scold him as a donkey. There's no way, he has a natural talent. In addition to the system rewards obtained, it is difficult to think whether it is powerful or not. Xu Daqiang saw that Lou Xiaoe couldn't move her fingers, so he personally fed Lou Xiaoe chicken soup with a spoon. Xiao, have some soup and drink more. After drinking, you will have strength. Lou Xiaoe, who had just taken a sip, suddenly choked. Xu Daqiang, aren't you thinking of doing anything else? Xiao, judging from what you said, you are now my wife. Shouldn't you fulfill the responsibilities and obligations of a wife? I want to live an extra 2 years. Don't worry, the book says that life lies in exercise, and exercising more can help prolong life. What's in the book? How come I don't know? You don't know because you read too little. Xu Daqiang and Lou Xiaoe talked nonsense a few times before feeding Lou Xiaoe. He took the pot and dried all the remaining chicken soup. Nowadays, Xu Daqiang's body has become stronger and his appetite has also increased significantly. And after working hard all night, I also need to supplement my nutrition. As soon as Xu Daqiang finished eating, Lou Xiaoe couldn't wait to ask a question that had been held up all night. P.S. Thanks to Gentlemaner and Feilu Fan 862-6173, 2 old irons will each give 100 rewards, and we will add more for them later. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations. Chapter 6. Damao Explodes. Xu Daqiang created people. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xu Daqiang, you said last night that you can solve the ingredient problem at home. That's right. Xu Daqiang nodded, tidied up the dishes and other things, and opened the door. Su Li, who was waiting outside the door, quickly took it. Daqiang, have you all finished eating? You have a decent appetite. Mom and Dad, haven't you eaten yet? Take this 10 yuan, go buy something to eat, and then buy 2 old hens back. Daqiang, where did you get so much money? My daughter Law is the eldest lady of the Lu family, and this is all her pocket money. Xu Daqiang simply dismissed his cheap mother. In fact, Lou Xiaoe's pocket money has received another 100 yuan today. That is to say, there is 300 yuan in Xu Daqiang's system space. With so much money, it's even thicker than the Xu family's foundation. Of course, compared to an old man's savings, it is definitely not as good. Compared to my father Law Lu Banqing, it's even worse. So Xu Daqiang believes that building the strongest family on his own is a long and arduous task. Xu Daqiang checked and found that Lou Xiaoe has laughed 10 times since last night. Last night until now, Lou Xiaoe has laughed 10 times. Is this a coincidence or something? Anyway, it's easy to work hard after 30 attempts. In order to build the strongest family, Lou Xiaoe's abilities. A girl who loves to laugh has good pregnancy, so Xu Daqiang definitely wants her to smile more. Smiling for 10 years is definitely not a bad thing. Xu Daqiang closed the door and directly locked Su Li, who wanted to come in and see Lou Xiaoe, outside the door. This child has been working overtime all night, isn't that enough? Su Li looked at the black 10 yuan banknote in her hand, which was currently the largest denomination banknote. Today's prices are very low, with pork, fresh meat, with bones, priced at 0.64 yuan per kilogram, salted pork at 0.87 yuan per kilogram, beef, bulk, at 0.45 yuan per kilogram, lamb at 0.36 yuan per kilogram, hens at 0.69 yuan per kilogram, roosters at 0.58 yuan per kilogram, and ducks at 0.61 yuan per kilogram. Cabbage and potatoes are even cheaper. Su Li said that the 10 yuan given by Xu Daqiang to her to buy 2 chickens is simply not enough to spend. Inside the room. As soon as Xu Daqiang closed the door, Lou Xiaoe couldn't wait to say again. Daqiang, my parents are very worried about the ingredients at home every day. If you have a way to solve it, then. Before Lou Xiaoe could finish speaking, Chao Kuan jumped onto the bed and hugged his new wife in his arms. This is the ceiling of the slightly chubby world, soft and comfortable to hold in your arms. Xu Daqiang, no way. You hurry out. Lou Xiaoe was a bit scared. It seems that he is afraid of a misunderstanding from Xu Daqiang, and he added. Daqiang, I have no other intention, it's just that I really need to rest today. Do you understand what I mean? Xu Daqiang nodded with a smile and said, I understand. I promise I won't do anything. I didn't sleep last night, I just need to catch up now. Didn't you lie to me? Don't worry. Okay, if you lie to me, then you're really a donkey. Lying in Xu Daqiang's arms, Lou Xiaoe frowned slightly due to pain, but her face couldn't help but smile. Daqiang, you haven't answered my question just now. Don't worry, I'll come back on the third day, which means I'll go to your parents' place tomorrow. You'll know then. Due to ingredient issues, Lu Zhenhua and his wife often struggle to sleep well all night long. Regarding this, Lou Xiaoe saw it in her eyes and remembered it in her heart. Upon hearing her husband Xu Daqiang say he could help solve the problem, she wished she could immediately take Xu Daqiang back to her mother's house. But now, she is really tired, almost without the strength to move her fingers. It seems that we can only wait for tomorrow. I hope Xu Daqiang keeps his word and doesn't bully me in the future. It's just that ideals are full, reality is bone-like. Lou Xiaoe has personally understood what it means to a man's mouth is a deceitful ghost. In a blink of time, it was evening. Yi Zhonghai, Lu Haizhong, and Yan Bugui, as well as Sili Zhu, Su Damao, and others, all returned home from work. Upon returning home, Su Damao stared at his younger brother Xu Daqiang's door and widened his eyes. Mom, why is Daqiang still in the room? Daqiang hasn't come out for a whole day today, Su Li couldn't help but tell the truth. Su Damao was stunned and said, Mom, you're not joking, are you? Lao Su walked over and coughed twice. Damao, your younger brother is in good health. Maybe he also wants to spread the branches and leaves for our Su family. Don't disturb him. Su Damao exclaimed, my younger brother's health is not just good. He couldn't help but think of himself as a fast shooter. Damn it, it's all because of this idiot, stupid Zhu. Su Damao, who was getting more and more angry as he thought, suddenly rushed out of the door and shouted. Silly pillar, come out of here for me. In the room, Xu Daqiang heard Su Damao's shout and estimated that Su Damao would be beaten again. He didn't bother to pay attention to this either. The world is vast, and there's no big deal in building the strongest family. He checked and found that the efficiency was good. Lou Xiaoe laughed 5 more times today. 15 more times, keep working hard. P.S. Thanks to Gentlemaner and Philanthropist 862-6173, 2 old ties each give 100 rewards. This chapter is the reward of Gentlemaner. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations. Chapter 7. What a special beast. Everyone come to your door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the courtyard of the courtyard, the silly pillar was carrying a net bag, which contained 2 iron lunch boxes. Inside the lunch box, there are some dishes specially packed by silly pillar. Anyway, as long as you shake the spoon more every day, there will always be some leftover food. Stupid pillars who work in the kitchen can be packed and brought back. There are also a few slices of fatty pork inside. Qin Jie must like it. Seeing Qinhuai Ru washing clothes by the sink from afar, Silly Zhu looked silly and happy. Qin Jie. Qin Jie. Silly Zhu has returned. Qinhuai Ru turned around and saw the net bag in Silly Zhu's hand, and immediately laughed. Qin Jie, do you see what good things I have brought you? Before Silly Zhu could finish speaking, Qinhuai Ru had already taken the net bag into her hand. Silly Zhu, thank you so much. Bang Ji is now in the prime of growing his body. If it weren't for your frequent assistance to our family, I wouldn't know what to do. When Silly Zhu heard Qinhuai Ru express his gratitude, he felt like he was floating with joy, like a fool. At this moment, he vaguely heard Su Damao's shout. What is the ghost's name, Su Damao? Shouldn't it be itching on the skin and wanting to be beaten again? Soon, Su Damao rushed over. Silly pillar. What are you doing? Damn you, Grandpa. Su Damao covered his waist, feeling increasingly angry as he thought about it. Both of them are descendants of the old Su family. My younger brother is so powerful that he doesn't make any sense. Every time, he takes less than a minute. So everything, it's all because of the silly pillar who broke his waist. At this moment, Su Damao felt anger rising from his heart and evil rising towards his gallbladder. He directly charged towards Silly Zhu with a fierce expression on his face, and kicked him fiercely at his waist with all his strength. Silly Zhu was startled on the spot. He never thought that Su Damao would be so good that he had to fight desperately for him. Unexpectedly, although he dodged, he did not completely dodge. At that time, I was kicked hard and the pain was quite severe. Su Damao, why did you take the wrong medicine? Exclaimed Silly Zhu, who was in pain as the god of war in the courtyard. Silly pillar has never been afraid of fighting. Quickly got into a fight with Su Damao. For the sake of 2 lunch boxes, Qinhuai Ru advised a few words. However, soon after hearing the sound, Jia Dongxiu and Jia Zhang took away the lunch box. And with a stick meme, watching the excitement happily beside me. And more people are watching the excitement. Not long after, Grandpa Yi Zhonghai, Grandpa Lu Haizhong, Grandpa Yan Bugui, and Yan Jicheng, Yan Jifang, Lu Guangtian, Lu Guangfu and others all came. What's going on here? The official fan said in an official tone. The third master of the iron abacus rolled his eyes, pondering whether he could take the opportunity to gain some benefits. With all his heart set on hoping for the future, Mr. Yi, who was foolish enough to retire, stepped forward and opened Su Damao's door. He secretly pulled the crossbar. Because he held on to Su Damao, allowing the foolish pillar to take the opportunity and give Su Damao a big push. Su Damao covered his swollen and painful face, saw the situation clearly, but still couldn't help feeling angry. However, there was no more desperate attitude towards Silly Zhu. Su Damao, what's going on? Hello, why are you hitting the silly column so far? Mr. Yi's words let Su Damao know that no matter what silly pillar does, he is always protected by Mr. Yi. But Su Damao couldn't help but say, Grandpa 1, Grandpa 2, Grandpa 3, you should all know that silly pillar broke my waist back in the beginning, and it hasn't improved much since then. You may not know that my old Su family is in good health, and my younger brother Xu Daqiang has not left the house until now. I used to be so skilled, but... Before Su Damao could finish speaking, Silly Zhu interrupted directly. Su Damao, what are you saying? Your younger brother Xu Daqiang hasn't left the house yet. Lu Guangtian exclaimed in shock, lie down, is Xu Daqiang a donkey? Yan Jicheng was shocked and said, from last night until now. I'm really not human. Lu Guangfu and Yan Jifang all agreed, livestock. What a special animal. Grandpa 1, Grandpa 2, and Grandpa 3 looked at each other. As men, they are now rare once a month. And time can be almost negligible. For a moment, jealousy caused the hostage wall to separate. 1 auntie, 2 aunties, 3 aunties, Jia Zhang, Qinhuai Ru, and others are all from the past. Each expression couldn't help but become strange. They envied their new daughter. In law Lou Xiaoe from the bottom of their hearts, thinking that Lou Xiaoe must have died of happiness. Su Damao looked at the atmosphere around him and quickly shouted. Hey, what I'm saying is not that, but that my waist was damaged by the silly pillar, which made me 108,000 miles behind my younger brother. This matter, Silly Zhu must give me an explanation. Almost everyone around them cared about Su Damao's issues, but instead whispered or talked incessantly. The conversation was all about Xu Daqiang, a donkey prodigy from a courtyard house. That's right, Xu Daqiang now has a nickname, which means he's not a human's donkey in that aspect. As the voices of conversation around him grew louder and louder, Yi Zhonghai, the first of the 3 housekeepers in the courtyard, coughed twice. Su Damao, isn't everything that happened back then already resolved? And besides, your younger brother Xu Daqiang, shouldn't he be from last night until now? Jia Dongxiu had long been curious about what Xu Daqiang had eaten, and now he suggested. How about we go take a look now? Jia Dongxiu's proposal received unanimous support from everyone. Quickly, the crowd of the quadrangle courtyard arrived at the Xu family in the backyard. P.S. Thanks to, Gentlemaner, Philanthropist 862-6173, 2 old ties each give 100 rewards. This chapter is the reward plus more for, Philanthropist 862-6173. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations. Chapter 8. Overlord Xu Daqiang. The Wild View of Qinhuai Ru. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mr. and Mrs. Xu have never seen much of the world before. Seeing so many people rushing in, I was quite frightened. Grandpa 1, Grandpa 2, Grandpa 3, what's wrong with you? Grandpa Yan Bugue stepped forward and briefly explained what had just happened. The foolish pillar beside him who couldn't wait immediately asked. Where's Xu Daqiang? He probably hasn't been in his bridal chamber since last night, has he? Originally, silly Zhu wanted to mock him, but he laughed twice. Seeing the envious and jealous eyes around me, I couldn't laugh at once. That's right, he's also envious and jealous to the point of going crazy. As a man, there is no one who doesn't want to be impressive in that aspect. As a woman, there is no one who doesn't want to be as strong as a man. Unconsciously, silly Pillar looked at Xu Damao. Silly Zhu understood why Xu Damao went crazy today. The rest of the people had already learned about Xu Daqiang and Lou Xiaoe from Lao Su, and had never left their room overnight. At this moment, seeing Xu Damao's appearance, they sympathized more with him and were even more shocked by Xu Daqiang's strength. Donkey goods. What a real donkey. Second Uncle Lu Haizhong spoke in an official tone and said, Xu Damao, when silly Zhu broke your waist, he also lost your money. Moreover, this matter has been going on for a long time. Xu Damao said urgently, although time has passed for some time, you all know that when silly Zhu broke my waist, you are all witnesses. Grandpa Yi said in a deep voice, Xu Damao, what do you want to do? Xu Damao hesitated and said, I don't care. Anyway, I have to be foolish and compensate my waist. Silly Zhu looked a little dumbfounded and said, Xu Damao, you probably want my waist, right? Xu Damao angrily said, your waist is definitely not as powerful as my old Xu family. Besides, it's useless for you to give me anything. Silly Zhu suddenly became angry and rolled up his sleeves, looking like he was beating someone with medicine. Xu Damao, what do you really want? From being a fool since childhood, Xu Damao was so scared that he took 3 steps back and knocked down the old Xu behind him. Old Xu's painful cry was heard by Xu Daqiang in the room. Xu Daqiang had no intention of taking care of Xu Damao's troubles. Unfortunately, even old Xu has fallen now, and Xu Daqiang has integrated his memories and has a good impression of this cheap old father, old Xu. At this moment, I quickly put on my clothes and stormed out in anger. A big pussy pulled the silly Pillar to a standstill on the spot. This is still Xu Daqiang's focus, otherwise, it's uncertain what kind of damage he will make to the silly Pillar. However, even so, his ability to take action with anger far exceeds that of ordinary people. Silly Zhu was stunned on the spot. Xu Daqiang, don't hit anyone. Grandpa Yi doesn't want Xu Daqiang to destroy the person who will provide him with retirement in the future. Xu Daqiang is not Xu Damao, nor is he afraid of Grandpa Yi. He directly retorted, Grandpa Yi, the foolish Pillar just caused my dad to fall. Why didn't you say a word? First Uncle blush. I'm not talking about it. Xu Daqiang chuckled and noticed a stunning expression in Qinhuai Ru's eyes. Others also look up to the current Xu Daqiang. Everyone was muttering to themselves, this Xu Daqiang, I haven't seen him all night, it's like a different person. I didn't pay attention before, did Xu Daqiang look so beautiful? If I had known Xu Daqiang was so strong, how could I not have been able to date him back then? Xu Daqiang glanced more at the beautiful Qinhuai Ru. He had already confirmed his gaze, this was his future woman. Although she is the daughter-in-law of the Jia family, it doesn't matter. Xu Daqiang also has no plans to marry. Now his body is too strong, and the capitalist daughter Lou Xiaoe's body is still unable to resist the whip. Of course, the most important thing is that the strongest family system, Duozi Duofu, seems to require him to have children with the world's female protagonist Duo in order to receive generous rewards and accelerate the construction of the strongest family. Although Qinhuai Ru is a young woman, she is still the female protagonist of World Fortune. These are things for the future, let's talk about them later. Now, Xu Daqiang ignored the others. He said loudly, today's matter is very simple. Silly Zhu broke my brother Xu Damao's waist. So tomorrow, take Xu Damao to the hospital for a detailed examination and be responsible for curing it. Grandpa Yi felt a sense of unease in his heart. Before Xu Daqiang came out, he was just about to propose that Silly Zhu compensate him 5 yuan to settle the matter. But now, Grandpa Yi estimates that 5 yuan may not be enough. If I had known, I wouldn't have let Silly Zhu and Xu Damao make too much fuss. I originally thought that if the two of them were more mischievous, Silly Zhu would know more about the benefits of having me as the one grandpa on the final stage. Who would have thought that Xu Daqiang was such a powerful person? I won't say anything about being a formidable donkey, but unfortunately, my brain is still intelligent. This courtyard will be difficult to manage in the future. Not only did Grandpa 1 exclaim in his heart, but Grandpa 2 and Grandpa 3 exclaimed in their hearts that Xu Daqiang solved the problem with just a few words. Moreover, the slap on the silly pillar also made some people around who were calculating with ulterior motives feel confused. The third master of abacus, Yan Bugue, dared not use abacus for a while. On the contrary, Qinhuai Ru's eyes lit up and she said, I remember Xu Daqiang from the past, who seemed to crave me like a silly pillar. Qinhuai Ru's eyes were fixed on Chao Kuan, who was handsome, and extraordinary, and she murmured, perhaps I can. P.S. Seeking support from Flower Reviews. Chapter 9 No. No way. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Uncle San has his abacus, and Qinhuai Ru has her wild vision. There are not many people in the courtyard, and each person has a lot of thoughts. Grandpa Yan Bugue always wants to take some advantage, while Qinhuai Ru wants to suck blood. His husband Jia Dongxiu's salary is not high, and most of the money goes to Jia Zhang's hands. The expenses of the family fell on Qinhuai Ru. She can also be considered a clever woman who cannot cook without rice. So on weekdays, Qinhuai Ru would pretend not to know even though she knew Silly Zhu was craving her body. Relying on her beautiful face, fiery figure, and pitiful appearance, Silly Zhu was attracted to occasionally provide some food. Previously, she didn't pay much attention to Xu Daqiang. After all, Xu Daqiang's older brother Xu Damao is much smarter than Silly Zhu. Moreover, Mr. Xu Daqiang doesn't have a job and salary like a silly pillar, and his father, He Daqing, even ran away with a widow. Basically, there are no elders in charge of the family, and assistance can be provided anytime and anywhere. So in the past, Qinhuai Ru didn't talk much to Xu Daqiang. But now, Qinhuai Ru suddenly has a wild hope. To be precise, it was from last night when I listened to the corner of the wall that wild hope grew in my mind. But now, it's just starting to grow wildly. Xu Daqiang is getting married, probably they will split up soon, right? Then. It will be even more convenient. Qinhuai Ru was eagerly anticipating it. Xu Daqiang still doesn't know what Qinhuai Ru's plan is. He quickly cut through the chaos, solved the problem, and prepared to go back and continue sleeping with his soft wife. Lou Xiaoe's abilities. A girl who loves to laugh will not have poor fertility. There are still more than a dozen laughs left until the pregnancy gas explodes and one child has two. Xu Daqiang has made up his mind to work harder. As soon as he turned around, silly Zhu, who had come to his senses, was furious and unable to resolve it. Xu Daqiang, why did you sneak attack me? In the courtyard, as the god of war, he has always beaten people, and no one has ever beaten him. Now, in front of everyone, I am being beaten and confused by Xu Daqiang. Silly Zhu felt like he had lost all his face. Especially for such an embarrassing scene, it was even seen by Qin Jie, whom she had been longing for. This made silly Zhu hate Xu Daqiang to death. He glared angrily at Xu Daqiang and said, Xu Daqiang, why don't you come over here? I have no problem with the money your brother spent on going to the hospital for a check. Up. But you just hit me, come over and let me double and hit back. Without waiting for silly Zhu to finish speaking, Xu Daqiang turned around and faced him with a powerful and heavy pussy. The sound is clearer and louder than before. Silly Zhu didn't expect Xu Daqiang to give him a big pussy, let alone turn around now and give him a second big pussy. And this time, the strength is even greater. Silly Pillar collapsed directly to the ground. His front teeth were all broken. Surrounded by Grandpa 1, Grandpa 2, Grandpa 3, Grandpa Yan Jicheng, Uncle Yan Jifang, Lu Guangtian, Lu Guangfu, Jia Zhangshi, Qinhuai Ru, and so on, they were all stunned. Su Damao, who hated silly Zhu so much, was also shocked. Old Su and his wife are almost scared out of their wits. Daqiang, you. Xu Daqiang gave the two a calm look and said calmly. Silly Zhu, didn't you ask me to roll over? I'm here, why aren't you useful? Grandpa E quickly stopped in front of silly Zhu and said, hey, everyone said not to hit anyone. They are all neighbors in the same yard, so there's no need to make such a scene. He called on Lu Guangtian, Lu Guangfu, Yan Jicheng, and Yan Jifang, several young people, to help carry the silly pillar away. Quickly, the people around also dispersed. Su Damao walked around Xu Daqiang with a ghostly expression on his face. Daqiang, you. When did you become so powerful? Teach me quickly, I've been wanting to beat up silly pillars for a long time. Xu Daqiang patted Su Damao's shoulder and said, nonsense, brother, isn't hitting a silly pillar like hitting a son with a father? You were scared of being beaten by him when you were a child. As long as you're not afraid of him, you can also beat silly pillars like me, just like beating a son. After speaking, Xu Daqiang returned to his room. He doesn't care how badly Su Damao will be beaten by the silly pillar according to his operation. In the room, Xu Daqiang held his new daughter-in-law Lou Xiaoe, who loved and feared him. Daqiang, I can't do it anymore, I really can't do it. Xu Daqiang didn't force Lou Xiaoe either, he just whispered in her ear. Lou Xiaoe bit her lip and shook her head repeatedly. No. No way. Lou Xiaoe, even if I die, I cannot agree to your excessive demands. P.S. Seeking support from Flower Evaluations.